Hi, I'm Jessie Abbott, your host of Valley News Now, and I stole a couple more people from North Dakota today this morning. It seems to be my favorite pastime. And we're talking about a winter coat drive with Matthew's Voice Project, and so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so we have talked previously a little about the coat drive and about the greenhouse, the place where you work.
Yep.
And then you are supporting it as well as Sandy's Donuts, but I'm excited to talk too with Jenny about Matthew's Voice Project.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so tell us what that's all about.
Okay, so Matthew's Voice Project, actually the Greenhouse and Sandy's Donuts are helping us collect coats for, they're holding a coat drive. The great thing about this is that we are in dire need of coats and outdoor gear for the local homeless high school students, and we are also collecting for all ages during this coat drive. Matthew's Voice Project is excited to partner with these guys because we can only do this with the help of the community.
Yeah, and so tell us a little bit about what Matthew's Voice Project is.
Okay, so Matthew's Voice Project started probably about 12 years ago.
Okay.
I had heard that a former client of mine had housed and fostered 30 girls.
Oh, wow.
By the time she was like 27, 28.
Wow.
And so I kept thinking, wow, what am I doing? Like, am I contributing, right? I'm getting up, I'm going to work, I'm doing all these things, but like she has done all these amazing things that made such a difference. And so she had asked about senior photos. So we started with senior photos. We started super small, which was awesome, but the numbers have grown, the needs have grown. And so we have an amazing board of directors. We have amazing team members and volunteers, and we're just trying to do the most good for these kids to keep them supported and keep them in high school.
It's a really amazing what you're doing, and I love that's the kind of competition between women that's amazing. When we're like, oh, you're doing that? Ooh, what can I do for the community? You know, that's the kind of women you both are, and I love having women like you on that. You know, there's other kinds of competition that is not fun.
Yeah.
But this is the good kind. This is the kind you want. You want people in your life that inspire you to like, what am I doing? I want to do some more. So we talked, and you please correct me if I have these statistics wrong, but when you started like 12 years ago from a few homeless to now like 900?
There's approximately 900 in the entire school districts of West Fargo, and Moorhead.
That's a lot.
So that's all ages, right?
Wow.
It's a lot. It's and the one thing about it is that like how we refer to the kids they are students that are experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
Because it's a space that they're at right now.
Right.
And we're trying to support them so maybe they can be out of that space and have homes or be in a stable environment, but we're trying to get them the tools that they need to graduate. So our primary focus in the past and even now too is to kind of focus on the senior high students, the middle school students, to get them so that they stay hooked. They stay hooked. We want them in school, we want them to graduate, we want them to be successful. And so we have been focusing on things like we might pay for gas for their car.
Sure.
They might be sleeping in their car. We might be paying for gift certificates for food. A Subway sandwich goes a long way.
Yeah.
Clothing, things that they need. We just had, doesn't happen often, but we just had a family during that 90-degree, weather that we just had. They had exhausted every single resource. They had several kids within the school district, and we were able to put them in a hotel for a few days.
Wow.
That one we don't do as much because that's, we're really trying to focus on the stuff that we can do easily.
Yeah.
But we do it when we come in the clutch when things aren't, when the need is the greatest.
The need is the greatest.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And to think the need, we kind of talked about this last time too, but I think you can't enough really think about that, what that would be like to be homeless as a child, to not have anywhere to go, and to be trying to go to school. It'd be so easy to quit school.
Yes.
It would be so easy to quit school. And roughly 1,000 kids. I mean, a lot of us come from small towns. I mean, that's a whole town. That's a couple towns in North Dakota, you know? Think of that and what that really means. And so what you're doing is identifying those kids with I forget what you've got somebody in each of the schools that kind of helps.
Yep, so the liaisons are the ones that they're the key. They're the magic makers that I call them. They're like unbelievable. And they work with all the social workers in the school, and each school has liaisons.
Okay.
And they are the ones that identify and go through that process of making sure the students get what they need. And they will contact us and they'll say, okay, we need a size XX, sweatshirt. The student has absolutely no clothes, and we need this, and this, and toiletries. And we're like, okay, how can we get this?
Wow.
So sometimes on our Facebook page, you might see us come out and say, we have an emergency need because we just can't get it that quickly.
Yeah.
But we can also do things like cleats for for school. Like somebody wants to play football,
right?
And they can't play football without obviously all the tools,
right?
But we want them to stay engaged. That's how they stay engaged.
Right. That might be enough to keep them in school, you know, for the rest of the time. I mean,
feeling like they belong.
Like they belong. And I mean, there's incredible lessons to be learned being in sports. And just to have somewhat of a normal childhood when everything is anything but normal. I would love to go to your website too to see. So we're going to go to Facebook and show you the Winter Coat Drive. That is happening, and so it's already started September 11th through the 25th, and like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's donation bins at Sandy's Donuts, and so you can drop those off, and then the big event is September 26th at 4:30 at the greenhouse.
Yes,
and so you can bring items at that time, you can help sort, kind of go ahead.
So the big event on September 26th will be at the greenhouse. It'll be an opportunity to bring any last minute donations, and then we're going to Matthew's Voice Project has a trailer that we're going to load all the donations into so they can bring them to the warehouse where the liaisons get to go shopping for the kids. You'll get to hear from Jenny, from Jeff at Sandy's, and from Patrick, our CEO and founder at the greenhouse, talking about just the impact that we're making in the community and why this was so important to us. There will be Sandy's Donuts at the event on the 26th.
There you go.
So, but yeah, the West Fargo location and the Osgood location, there are bright blue bins with the Matthew's Voice Project logo on them. Just look for those to donate your new or gently used coats.
That's awesome. So you were saying if you have needs, that was kind of what I was thinking when you were talking about, okay, there's needs at times, and again, kind of like what we were saying at the beginning, I'm going to just switch over here, that these things inspire us to do good, right? To do other things that we can be doing for the community. Okay, so Matthew's Voice Project. All right, here's the Facebook page, Matthew's Voice Project on Facebook, and you're going to want to click like right there. All your pages.
This is another event I can tell you about. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see, this one is an event coming up on October 24th. We're super excited about this.
This looks amazing.
Yeah, we're going to have a back to the 80s kind of Halloween dress up event, and it's a fundraiser that night. This has been so great what the Greenhouse and Sandy's are doing, because what they've done is they've kind of pushed a lot of people to our page, which I appreciate so much.
Good.
Because we're still looking for 50 like raffle items, silent auction items, sponsors and whatnot. So go to our page and take a peek at that. But if you scroll down, you can kind of see also the Winter Coat Drive. We've got that
great.
with the
and then
bins.
We can see what the bins look like.
So we've got this all set up. So this is what the bin actually looks like.
Nice.
And if you have other questions, if you go to matthewsvoiceproject.com, you can go and see kind of like what we're doing and what we've been up to. This will give you, just some more information. There's our fundraising event. We've got the greenhouse down below. And then we've got... so they're really pushing.
This is great.
Yeah, they're pushing because we're doing this. We haven't done an event before.
So this is first year event.
This is the first year that we've ever done this. So this is a push. This is
great. So there's a lot of things that you can, and there's just a lot of things that we each have the resources. We might, maybe you also do Mary Kay, or you also do whatever. There's things that you can donate. A lot of businesses, that's something to ask your employer and ask your boss about. A lot of businesses will match what you donate to different causes, and that kind of goes unused sometimes. And believe it or not, a lot of businesses, they want to do that. They almost need to do that. And so take advantage of it, and use it for some good in the community,
If you scroll down on this, I think they have a couple things in here that you can... They talk about things like ways to give, but they also talk about the students' voices. That's the one thing we talk about, is we have students that have provided just, how they ended up where they're at. Because it's not what you think. These are the numbers right now that we've got, and just the information that we have. But people have no idea. The homelessness, students that are experiencing homelessness, it knows it has zero boundaries. It could be anyone. It could be anything that you are, in school. You could be walking by a student. You have absolutely no idea. You could be in a store. You could be walking by somebody and you would have absolutely no idea. It is one of those things that we're trying to build awareness, but also bring support, because we are stronger when our community is stronger.
Definitely.
We had somebody, I had shared this with Alice before, we had somebody that has been a volunteer with Matthew's Voice Project, and she said, which I thought was so amazing, community is a verb. It is not a word, it's a verb. And
That's
it's
good.
us doing things together to make a difference.
Yeah. And there's so many people that want to and are making a difference. And I just feel like the more connected, and that, I mean, that's what we really want to do with this platform as well, is, is connect the people in the community that need the resources to the people that have the resources, and connecting these groups together too. Which I admire the greenhouse so much and Sandy's Donuts so much for giving back. That's incredible, and that's how we do it all. Okay, so Matthew's Voice Project, with the students' voices you were saying, I'm just, what's going through my mind right now is like I want to interview anybody of the kids that would like to be. Wow.
And these are all students that,
I mean, just read that.
they have hope, right? They
Yep.
still have hope, and that's what we're trying to build for them, you know, and keep that in them. Because this last year we gave a scholarship to a young girl who was going to college. I stood in the entryway and I cried after I gave it to her because I thought, how huge is being able to support a student and help pay housing or help pay a quarter at school, right? I took it for granted. I don't have any sort of reference point for this because I did not experience that growing up. But to think that is such a huge thing, we were able to give scholarships for computers for kids that were going to college that didn't have the funds for that.
And that's a necessity.
A major
I mean,
necessity.
it has been for many years, but to think of not having a computer, I don't know how you would do it.
Right.
Yeah. So this is why we're so thankful for you guys doing this for us, because again, like I've had people say to me, "Oh, I saw this thing about the coat drive with the greenhouse and Sandy's Donuts," and I was like, "That's so great," because all of us have been volunteers with Matthew's Voice Project, and we're just trying to do what we can do to help.
Yes.
And so it's so wonderful to have other people come alongside of us and support it and ask us to share and whatnot, because otherwise, if it's okay if you don't know about it, right?
Right.
But now that you know about it, then how can you help?
How can you help?
So-
And you know, I just think of the abundance that so many have. You know, it's just such a stark contrast. But I mean, the abundance that we have, some of us to be able to go through our homes and take things that we won't even really miss, and to help each other. And that's where, like you said, community is a verb. I mean, that's what we need to be doing all the time. So thank you for the amazing work that you're doing in the community, and thank you for coming alongside of them and taking your time on North Dakota Today and with me on Valley News Now to be able to share. We appreciate your time. I always talk to people way too long, so I take way more time than you see here. It's about 4 times that.
That's okay.
All good stuff.
It's good. It's really good. So we got to go up for that, coat drive. All right, we got to go back here. I want to show one more time. And also this party. I am definitely, seriously, how do you get tickets? Because I'm going to need to buy them right now.
So if you go, there's a link on our, right above that, there's a link on our, she's got it down below. There we go.
Okay.
If you can click on the Matthew's Voice Project, if you go on there, the link is in there where you can buy the tickets. You can also, we have QR codes where everything.
Right here.
Yep. Admit one. There you go. You can purchase
Is this
a ticket.
a dress up event?
You can dress up if you want to. It's 80s theme. We're super excited as a crew. We're gonna go. We kind of have a theme going. We just kind of decided on last night. But honestly, you don't have to dress up if you don't want to.
Sure.
But back to the 80s, you can do whatever you want. It's
I
going to be
love
fun.
Oh, come on. We all love the 80s.
Yeah.
And there's so much in style now that is like 80s reminiscent.
Just wear neon.
Seriously.
Just wear neon. Put your hair up in like a ponytail and come as you are.
And you got it. Nice little side ponytail.
Yes.
Oh, I'm all about this. And then don't forget about the winter coat drive, too. I'm just going to show that one more time. September 11th, so already started through the 25th. And that is at all the two Sandy's Donuts, and you can donate your brand new or maybe very gently used coats. And then the big event, September 26th at 4:30. And I would just encourage you too to think like Jenny did. Like, okay, I'm a contributing member of society, but what else can I do? What can I do? Maybe it's something small. I mean, if we all did just that little thing, that's kind of your thing. You know, I so believe in that whatever your gift is, if you just do that, and when you do that, it isn't even hard. It's easy.
Right.
You know, it's easy.
Yes.
And everybody's gifts together just make such a difference in our community. So thank you so much. I will finally let you go.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Jessie Abbott, your host of Valley News Now.